So I've just finished reading Jim Chapman's book 147 Things, and I just wanted to share a little update about it and let you know what I thought of it. I haven't actually done a book review on my channel for a little while. I used to do one when I was posting 5 days a week on my YouTube channel. Then I cut down to 3 days a week at the end of last year, beginning of this year, and then about 4 or 5 months ago I cut down to once a week because I found it really difficult to keep up with 3 videos every single week even. And so I just wanted to talk about 147 things. Now, I didn't know what I'd think of the book. Jim Chapman, if you don't know him, is a YouTuber. He does other things as well. And he's someone who my wife watches the videos of, and my wife got that book and I saw it and thought, oh, 147 things, it's about facts and what have you. Looks really interesting. I love facts, as you can probably see around me. And I have obviously lots and lots of books, and so I thought I really want to read this. So I read it, and it's 147 different facts. So if you're interested in psychology, sociology, biology, chemistry, all sorts of different subjects, there's probably facts there for you. There's some personal stuff thrown in. He's thrown in stuff, some intimate stuff that's happened to him and various experiences from his life and how he's coped with different things. There's some really interesting and helpful stuff like that, which I think just obviously I do therapy, so from a therapy perspective I see it and think, oh, that's really good to, most people that read the book are probably younger, and I think it's really good to have that in there, just stuff that younger people can read and think, you know what, this stuff doesn't really matter so much, and that stuff is the more important stuff. And so I just think it's a brilliant way of getting facts out there. An equivalent type of book are probably like the QI books, where you've got like 1,000 different facts, but they're normally just a sentence or two on each fact. This is 147 facts. Some of them are facts from Jim's experience. Others are facts from, like, about dinosaurs, or talking about biology, or the miracle of you being here as a human being. And so there's loads of really interesting facts. He talks about animals which are pretty much immortal if they could avoid predation and illnesses and things like that. I think among the 147 I probably learnt a few new facts as well. And I would say now that Jim's gone, in my eyes, from being just a YouTuber that my wife watches the videos of whenever he posts a new video, and I watch some of them as well and listen in when I think that sounds a bit interesting, but someone who to me is just, oh, it's just another one of the YouTubers my wife listens to somebody who I would say, you always do that thing where you say, who would you have at a dinner party? If you could have a dinner party, who would you invite? And there's very few people who I'd invite to a dinner party. I'm not really someone who keeps much company, and I find most people incredibly boring. Most people want to talk about things I have no interest at all in. So I always narrow it down to, well, I'd love Stephen Fry to be there. I think I'd have interesting conversation with him. I'd want Darren Brown to be there. I think he seems to love knowledge, and so I'd probably be able to have lots of interesting conversation with him. Now I'd say it'd be cool to have Jim there, and I'm sure if Tanya was there as well, Jim's wife, then my wife Abby would have someone to talk to, while I'm just talking about loads of random sciencey stuff and stuff that I find really interesting. And yeah, I think if you obviously look around my room, so anyone that knows me and has seen lots of my videos will know that my wife has free reign of the rest of the flat. So everything else has cushions everywhere. It has fairy lights everywhere. It has snuggly blankets everywhere. And then there's my room, which Abby just lets me do whatever I want to it. It gets a bit of a mess at times because Abby will have things that she thinks, oh, I don't know where to put that, it's going to make my bits look untidy, so she dumps it in my room and then I have to figure out how to deal with it. So as you'll see, you know, I've got novels, martial arts books, books on psychology and lots of Darren Brown stuff, books on social psychology and lots of Elvis Presley stuff, books on mind-body therapies, tons on hypnotherapy, and books on things like behavioural economics, parenting, autism and Asperger's, mind control, and then if I swing round, I've got an old school entire Encyclopedia Britannica collection, and obviously these are all science magazines, plus I've got thousands of science magazines in boxes that I've read, and then all around my work desk are even more hypnotherapy books all around there. So as you can see, I've got lots and lots of books, and I love people who love knowledge, and so that's why I think, having read 147 things, that now Jim would probably be added to my list of people that would probably be interesting at a dinner party. So I don't get anything. I'll put a link down below to the book in the description, but I don't get anything from this. This isn't meant as an ad or anything. It's just I'd read the book, thought, oh, it's really interesting. It's someone who's actually spouting lots of knowledge at me and who seems really interesting. A few points if Jim ever ends up watching this video, which I obviously highly doubt. He talks about a couple of phobias. He's got a belly button thing and some other, and a water issue, and he also talks about ghosts and a ghost experience. The ghost experience, I reckon I could explain without it having to resort to ghosts being real, and the phobia issues and the water issue, I reckon I could treat within an hour, all of them within an hour. So the two main issues, the water one and the belly button one, I reckon I could treat them within an hour easily enough, if that was ever wanted. So anyway, that's Jim Chapman's book, 147 Things.